So, did you know that 60% of dog owners struggle to keep their dogs active indoors? So, today I want to give you three of my favorite games that you can play with your dog indoors to make sure that they're staying engaged and busy, especially with depending on where you are, the weather may not be so great with the upcoming winter and things like that, or if you're busy at home, or there could be an array of things of what reasons why you want to keep your dog busy while they're in the home. And so definitely we want to jump right into that. But first, my name is Pamela Brown with Down for Paws Dog Training. We help make life living with dogs way easier. That's all I have to say. All right, so let's just kick it off. The first game that I want to talk about is one that everyone loves, hopefully, is hide and seek. This one, when I'm thinking about it, of course, and everyone can play hide and go seek, but I really try to gear this towards the little one or the kids of any age. So essentially, how you want to play this, I'm going to tell you how to play the game, but then also how to implement training because, of course, I'm a dog trainer. So playing hide and go seek, the first thing you want to do, because ideally your dog's not going to sit there while everyone's like kind of the kids are running around the house trying to hide treats. So what you want to do is either put your dog outside in the yard, or ideally you can hold your dog on a leash so the dog can kind of see where the children are going to hide the treats. One pro training tip when you are playing this game, tell the kids at first, maybe stick to one room. Try not to make it too difficult for the dog until they understand what you're asking for them. It's just to go search for these treats and find your children. So again, you can play it two separate ways where you actually can have your kids go and hide the treats and then release your dog to go to the different areas and find them, which will keep them entertained for a long time. And what I find is that when you do it this way, where you just kind of scatter treats and let your dog go and search, if you pretty much do this frequently a lot of times and just keep on, like, say every morning when you're doing your coffee, you scatter some treats in the room and let your dog go and sniff, your dog will ideally do that even when you're not playing that game, just because it's habitual, they're used to it. Another fun way to play that with your kids, which is back to the original way, is having your kids actually go and hide around the house with a treat in their hand, and you just have one kid at a time call the dog's name. And once the dog finds that child, the kid will have the dog sit, if they can sit, whatever trick they know, and you can give the dog the treat, and then the next kid, follows line until the dog has all the treats. So that's ideally a good one that, because I know a lot of times I work with definitely dogs, families with kids and dogs, and it is challenging when you're trying to cook or you're working from home and the kids are with the dogs and they swear they're not doing anything. So ideally give them something structured to do. Hide and seek is always a great game to play. Do it on rainy days, do it on school vacations, just throw it in there anytime you need, because I know definitely dogs need to stay stimulated. The next thing I want to talk to you about, let's move on to mental stimulation things like puzzle games, Kongs, and things like that. If you ever hear a trainer like myself talk about mental stimulation or brain work or anything doing with the brain, we're talking about things that will the dog has to work to earn their reward, such as Kongs, puzzle toys, they puzzle toys too. You'll see them. They have levels 1, 2, and 3, where the dogs have to kind of move to the side different things in order to get the treat. Those are all things that's going to keep your dog mentally stimulated. So definitely check those out. And ideally, what I find is that a lot of families will go out and buy what kind of toy looks interesting, but I really do want you to keep in mind what engages your dog the most. What is it that your dog likes? Like, ideally, a lot of times I find that people are getting mental stimulation toys not because the dog's bored, because ideally they're chewing on things, or they're being destructive. What is it that they're doing? Are they like chewing on your furniture? Are they trying to get things off the counter? And as a dog trainer, when I hear dogs trying to get things off the counter, I'm like, give them a treat dispensing ball, because that way they can kick that around. Or dogs that are chewing on things or things like that, you can give them like a Kong, so something that's going to satisfy that. So always keep in mind, like, what is it that your dog's doing and what is it that they really want, instead of just buying random toys, because ideally when you buy the appropriate toy for your dog, they will stay engaged way longer. So you definitely want to give puzzle toys a go. This one I'm going to throw in there just because, like I said, I work with a lot of families with kids. Simply building an obstacle course for your dog. Kids love this one. Ideally, I usually just start off like simple cones and things like that. And, you can even have the kids walk first, like zigzag through the cones, and having the dog follow. You can use a hula hoop and have your dog walk through it. There's so many different things you can do. Actually, have the kids set up the obstacle course because ideally they're really setting it up for themselves, but the dog can just follow the kids, and that's definitely a way to keep them engaged indoors and stuff like that. I want to throw in a bonus one because this one I use, and I definitely am a reinforcer of this with my families that I work with. Is actually, if you haven't heard of a snuffle mat, you could definitely buy those in the store, and I love those too, where your dog just have to sniff around and go into certain pockets of the mat to retrieve the treats. Ideally, anything like a puzzle toy or a snuffle mat that's mentally stimulating is going to help tire your dog too, as well as work their brain. But I also like making one on my own, so I could actually make it as difficult as I want. And so, how you want to make a snuffle mat on your own with a towel? You just get like a regular bath towel, you roll it, put some treats in it, doesn't matter what kind, roll it again, sprinkle some treats, roll it, sprinkle some treats, and you continue on in that fashion until the towel is completely rolled. You can even knot it up and give it to your dog. I would say that's like a level 3 difficulty, but just not knotting it and giving it to your dog and letting them muzzle at it to get the treats out. That's essentially a snuffle mat right there. So if you don't want to go out and buy them, I'm all about DIY toys and such, but definitely putting that knot in them, and then let your dog work to get the knot out, especially for those chewers and those puppies. That's definitely key to keeping them engaged. So, with these three games, you should be able to rotate through them and keep your dog engaged because I know sometimes it can be hard. So, just as a recap, you want to make sure that you're doing hide and seek. That's one of the games. Any type of puzzle toys, Kongs, things like that. Snuffle mats, DIY stuff like the towel roll I was talking about. You can definitely build an obstacle course to get the kids in on that, but definitely use these three games to keep your dog engaged. They are my favorites that I kind of rotate through when I talk to families about. So now that you have these three games, go, 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 play them with your dog, and I'll see you next week with another great topic. Bye.